This cake was for a very good customer of ours. It was for her daughter who was turning 6, and she requested a Frozen themed cake. This particular customer usually sends us pretty detailed inspiration pictures to go off of, and this cake was definitely not an exception to that. I think I've done every birthday cake for this girl since she was born, so it's really cool to see as they get older what they choose for the theme to be. This cake definitely had its challenges and some technical things that I had to figure out how to do, so I started this video halfway through once I had the cake stacked and iced and the ramps figured out and everything. So if you guys want a part 2 on how I did the first part of it, I could definitely do that. When I started icing this cake, my first goal was to make it look like Eternal Winter. So I started with the blue paint around the side, and for that I just used gel food coloring mixed with some whitener and then blended that out to make it look like a watercolor effect. I went around the bottom of each tier with bright white icing and then blended that out to make it look like snowdrifts. I used white chocolate ganache with whitener added to it to make it look like melting icicles on the side of the cake, and then blended that into the snowdrifts as well. And at this point, it looks like we're ready to build a snowman. It looks like a frozen wonderland in the making. So I got the cake ready to put the Frozen figurines on it. I didn't make these figurines, we just bought these for the cake. So I got Olaf on there first, and then I got Kristoff and Sven ready, and then added Anna to the second tier. After that, I switched back to putting the final details on the towers. And I've actually never made fondant towers before for a cake, so this was definitely part of the challenge of figuring out how to do it, but I think they turned out really well, and I can definitely go into more detail on how I did those if you guys are interested in that. I used royal icing to glue the bottom of the tower to the roof of the tower, so since I had that made already, I used some of that to add some snow to the roof, and I think it definitely made them look a lot more finished off than they did before. To attach the towers to the cake, I hot glued a wooden dowel into the side of it so that that would anchor it down into the cake, and then I added some more royal icing along the base so that it would glue it down onto the top of the cake. These towers were covered in fondant, but they weren't actually edible, so I wasn't worried about hot gluing the dowel to it since I knew they weren't going to be eaten. Once I had all the towers placed, I added a few more snowdrifts just for some more stability and for looks, and then I added Elsa on top of it and finish it off by writing happy birthday on the bottom. To finish it off, I airbrushed the entire cake with a silver shimmer just to give it the sparkly snow look, and then I almost forgot to add the snowflakes, but I added those quick at the end, and I just think it really finished it off, and they just look so cute on there. So let me know if you guys want a part 2 on how I assembled and stacked this cake.